Hi everyone, it's Nan. Before I start, I just want to skim through these books just to give you an idea where I'm finding some of my inspiration for the things that I want to paint. And some are thrifted, some are library purchased, and 2 on Amazon. So this one has vivid pictures, and like I said, I just want to skim through it. I don't want to take too much time going through the books, but these, the ones that I thrifted, were good finds. This one's also, I think I got this one at the library, but this was amazing. The flowers, the illustrations. I mean, I probably could never paint like this, but I'm sure gonna try. And there was a orange puppy. So they do come in all colors. I decided to do the red one. I'm bringing that today, so we'll paint that on a hymnal, but I'll also show you how it looks in my Bible. These I did paint, and I wanted to do those with you, but on a later date. I did this one. It does not look the same, but I'll give myself credit for trying. And the aster, I see those a lot. A lot of these I do see on my walks and when I get out, which I have not that much this summer, which is a pity, but this one I got on Amazon. It is a coloring book, and I'm gonna skim through it really quick. It has all different coloring flowers. I like the front because it has these little cards. The cards do have painted pictures on it, and I can't cut them out and do as I choose. I can use it as ephemera in one of my junk journals, but I get inspired by that. It's beautiful. And then this one I got on Amazon, but it was recommended by someone on YouTube. Here's the poppy in here, which I could probably copy this poppy to the letter, sketching it and painting it like this. I want to be inspired by what I see and just create my own. Look at that, that's pretty. Let's see, what's that one? Gerbera. I've never heard of it. I've seen the flower. I don't know them all by name. Iris. I love those. The daisy, one of my mom's favorite. So that's another book. And without further ado, let's get this hymnal painted. Okay, here is my Bible and the hymnal that I had painted. On the hymnal, I did use acrylics and water. That's why it came out so light and you can actually see the words, and I like that. And when I paint it directly on the Bible, I used only acrylics, so that's why it's a deeper red. And for this, I use Psalm 121. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord. Remember, in any situation, you are not alone. You are not alone. So I have only 3 paints. Let me go through the supplies real quick. 3 paints. This is it says Rouge Imperial. I have black, and this one is just black. I guess you can use a deeper black if you want to, jet black. And this is Agave Grove. I know the flowers have greener flowers, but I really did like the lighter green. It's subtle. I've chosen my page. I have my micron, which I used for outlining, and my palette, 2 brushes. One is the 6. One of the books that I showed you recommended a 6, and this one is the number 1. So this is if I need it for outlining. So I have my palette, my paints, my water, and let's get to this. I guess I've been using a bigger brush. I don't know, I'm just heavy-handed, and little things, I almost feel like I cannot handle them, but I am going to use this. So I'm not going to give you specific instructions on how to do this because each of us are going to create it our own way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave my picture in front of me so that I can look at it as I paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and this is just like messy petals I'm starting with. I'm not doing anything specific to begin with, and then filling them in. You can go back and add a second coat, third coat if you want. Use the one coat. That is up to you. So this will be darker than the other and it will cover up the words, but I'm okay with that. And this would be like the center petal because it would be the biggest one. See, I'm having difficulty with this very thin brush, but I guess that's what they recommended when you watercolor in the book. That's what they recommended. So, and I like this too because you can see the strokes in the paint on the back of the flower. And then let me add another petal here. And as you can see, the flower starts to take shape. This one will be a little bigger than the others. I took an art class at the main library and it didn't work for me. I think if I were to take art classes, it could help. Okay, so now we're going to go to the center one. This one is going to be the biggest one. And I'm going through this a little faster than I normally would for the sake of the video. And maybe that shouldn't be something that I should think about too much. But I could take my time, but I think the video would last me a lot longer than that. Okay, that's going to be another petal, but this one I give it its shape so that you can darker edges so that I can see where I'm going to go over the petal with my micron for the outlining. This is going to be the main one, and I probably gave the bottom one a shorter space, but that's okay. You're still going to have your poppy on your page and just have fun. And you'll see when I finish, they do not look alike. They always end up coming out different. Does anybody ever paint identical flowers exactly the same when they do a second or a third one? I have no idea. I'm going in this direction to the right and then to the left because it makes it look like the flowers actually, the petals coming out in this direction. Take your time, take your time, take your time. Just enjoy yourself. If you make a mistake, grab another paper. If you make a mistake on your page, do a collage on it with colors and then use that for something else, but don't throw it out. You can make a pocket out of it or some other ephemera that you might want to use in your books. Okay, I want this. So that's pretty much, I'm leaving the center open because that's where the black part goes in. It's not complicated, just give it a go. Grab your brush, sit down and enjoy yourself. I will say that a million times to whoever's creating and thinks they cannot paint. They look at other people's stuff and say, I could never do that. Come on, sit down. Be inspired. I have all my windows open at the moment. It's kind of hot out there. We had some days where it was really cool. Today it is hot, but I still open the windows. I don't like feeling like I'm closed in. And the weather is changing. I have to face the fact the summer's over. It almost looks like you're creating little hearts every time you do the petals. Now, since I gave it a smaller space down at the bottom, I'm gonna have to be careful I don't paint a light table. But that's okay. They're all different sizes. And see, as I paint, you can see the strokes in the paint. I like that. I'm breaking all the rules, I know. I know I am breaking all the rules with this on how to paint. But again, I might not be a Picasso. I may never become a Picasso. I'm sure of that. Or a Monet. Renoir, all those painters. But I'm going to enjoy myself trying. And then if you want, you can just go back and create some more lines in there by adding a little more paint. It'll just flow with it. Make it look like this flower's being blown away by the wind. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry. That's simple, that's quick, and look how different it looks. Use the watercolor, and I did add a little bit of beige color in here. I think it's an antique white, I'm not sure. And just wherever there was a space that I did not cover, I added a little bit of that white in there. And I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that. This is going to look really pretty in a journal. At this point, I moved the camera a little closer so you can see as I add the details. And I'm just creating an oval right in the middle. And I am outlining everything so that it has a finish, a look on it. I have a habit of turning my papers. I just find it easier. Okay, so, and then what I did, now I'm going to switch to the little brush because I have sections here, right here where the petals are at, that I want to go up a little bit to define where each petal is at, just a tiny bit, not too much. This is one, and the actual seed, the little center part, I'm not sure what this is called. I don't know if those are the seeds, but if they are, I'm going to do that with my micron pen. So let's get a little bit of this in there and here. Maybe round this off a little more. There we go. And round this side just a little bit more. And this is another petal here. Okay, and then what I did here was I did take my brush and just sort of created a little ridge on this part. And I'm going to do it here. Okay. Just keep going around the whole thing. Believe me, it doesn't look like anything now, but once you're finished, you're really going to like the final result. Okay, so that's the biggest petal. So that's going to be it for that one. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do back here is I'm just going to, I saw something in a book, or it was Yahoo Images, I think. I was looking at some images of poppies, and I saw that it had black on the back of it, so that's where this is coming from. So I will be doing that here, and then also I'm going to give it a little bridge in the back. You can go up higher if you want to, that's up to you. It's still going to look nice. There. Cute. Then on the other one, I start here and then go underneath. And as you can see, I'm not making a perfect line. That can go up a little bit and then bring it. You could even make it wavy if you want to. It's still gonna look cute. And I think the one in my Bible came out a lot creator because of course I took my time and wanted that to be really nice. I didn't want to make it look wacky in my Bible. Okay, so that's that part. And I have to wait until that dries completely. I am using my heat gun to dry it. And at this point, what I want to do is draw my pod. I think it's called a pod. My leaves. And whatever stems I might want to add to the flowers. So I'm going to just use the tip very lightly of the brush and go in any direction. Okay, I should be using the thin brush. Why am I using this one? Okay, let's switch. All right, here we go. Net. I will give it a stem going this way. And then the pods, I'm just going to just create an oval shape. Then I could either draw one here, one coming down, but I think I'm going to draw this one coming down. Okay, let's see if I put my finger down. Will it help me to be... You could keep going and attach it to this stem if you choose to. And then you can just go this way. Okay, not a perfect line. And then draw another oval here. You can make it whatever size you want. And I wasn't too worried about making it dark. If you want to, you can go over it with a second coat of paint. This one's a little rounder, but let me make it a little more oval. There we go. Alrighty. Now to work on those leaves. I'm going to use the big one for the leaves. Alrighty. I'm just wiggling my brush. That's it. I'm not doing anything. And then just bring down the stem that way. And then just bring it. I'm not worried about a second coat on this either. If you want to, you can add a second coat to the leaves. That's up to you. You can add as many leaves as you want, or even omit some. So I know that the original leaves for the poppy have all these little ridges on the side. I'm not worried about that either, because my focus is the poppy itself. And you can make a little line going down that way, pretending the leaf is coming out from that direction. Make another leaf going this way. Someone who's an expert at painting would probably say, oh my lord, she's really killing it. She is really killing it, but I'm having fun with this. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's keep it in threes. I don't want to overdo it with the petals and the flowers. I want my music to show, but I like the flowers to stand out. So I am going to continue to dry that, and we'll be back for more. Okay, for the outlining, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try my Tombow. It'll probably give it a thicker outline, so let's see what it does. Make sure this is all dried. You need to make sure it's dry so that you do not ruin the tip of your marker, which I've done that many times. So let's see how this turns out. And the darker outline, of course, is going to make your flower pop out a lot prettier. But that's up to you how you'd like to do it. Okay. You can make your own little ridges on the petals once you're outlining. There we go. Total different look than the one I created with the watercolors. So I'm just giving you a different idea, and you can choose whether you'd like the fine line marker or you'd like it thicker. And I like this too. I like both. I'm okay with it, in other words. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty. Very pretty. I did paint this red inside the poppy, so this is all you have to do, so that the poppy is actually peeking through. We have a new bud. I call that a pod, but it could be the bud. I'm not sure. And then I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna add any lines into that. And it doesn't have to be right onto the flower. Sorry. The line doesn't have to be exactly on the leaf or the flower. You can let it come out a little bit. That's up to you. Artists are doing that too. You can add the black part of the stem there. That's up to you. I will always say that. Do you. Enjoy what you do. Then I can add this in there to make it look like the leaf is sideways. And let's get this big baby outlined. So this was the big petal here. As you can see, I'm not doing a perfect outline, and I'm okay with that too. Giving it a little ridge, wiggly line, whatever you want to call it. Just make your art your own. There we go. I remember growing up, I had an art teacher. Her name was Miss Benoit. Oh, I loved her. She didn't tell you, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. Just enjoy your art. And that's something I kept with me all my life in anything that I did. Look at that. It does make this flower really pop. So all I did was to create these was to just go in upper direction, move some this way, let them curl. No particular reason or rhyme for that. And then let some of them come out in this direction. Well, my paint might not have been that dried there, but let them come out in this direction. Then make your little dots. I've seen some of the dots in a white color, in a black color, so I could see a purple poppy, a blue poppy, what other color? And then that can go there, and then bring some littler ones in there. And then what I did was I brought some of these out this way. And then you could add a few there, smaller dots. Wow, that really did make it pop out. Simple, not complicated, doesn't take long. And for those who think they can't paint, like me, I've been inspired to create. I love it. Water acrylic. This is water acrylics, plain acrylics. You can add whatever you want on here. And this has, well, I can't read it. I covered it up. Add your, I always like doing this on my pages. Add your John Hancock. Well, your faux John Hancock. I love that. And then if I bring the one that I created inside the scripture, we have 3 different types of poppies here. And if I want, I can take this one and also, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Wait a minute before I finish. So this is the one we did today. I did this off camera, but just to keep this one in here so I can look back at how I created with water and acrylics. Take your page, add a little bit of glue on the edge. That's all you have to do to get this baby to stick in there, and that's the extra strength glue stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this one in there. Yes, and then hold it for a bit. Once it's in there, hold it for a bit. Look at that. It will stick. I can look at what I did with the watercolor and what I did with the acrylics alone. And so you can see the back. I don't have much seepage with that acrylic. You can still see the outline, but I don't have that much seepage with the acrylic on the page. The water, with the water, it does wrinkle. This one didn't wrinkle that much. And if you look at what I've written here with some Bible journaling markers, maybe they're not the liners that you use that won't seep through, but it did seep through here. And there it is, my friends. I hope you take a brush, take some paint, and just sit down and enjoy yourself. God bless. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next video. More fun to come, guys. So just hold it down. I didn't hold it down long enough. Just hold it down and it will stick. I promise you it's going to stay there. You can use your washi tape if you choose to. Use a red washi tape, which will look beautiful on there, but I don't have a red washi tape. I don't want to put regular tape on there, but that baby is going to stay in there. Just make sure you take the glue and go on the bottom several times and then hold it there. I didn't hold it long enough, so. But that's what's going to remind me of my watercolor and my acrylic. And that. You have a good one. God bless you. Bye-bye.